Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The perfect way to finish off a Boxing Day. Newcastle United 3, Aston Villa 0 at St James's Park. A brilliant performance again. Lots of shots, plenty of goals, and an all-round brilliant performance. And yes, people will come at you and say, well, Villa were down to 10 men. It doesn't matter. Because as a football team, you have to still go out there and do the business, whether the team's got 10 or 11 men. And we did exactly that. It was a brilliant start for us, a blistering start. You know, Joe Linton powers through the middle of the field, lays it to Anthony Gordon. He curls a brilliant ball past Martinez into the top corner. The goalkeeper had no chance. And again, such a fast start by Newcastle United and putting us in a brilliant position for the rest of the game. Now, yes, I will admit that we went off the rails a little bit, certainly between the 10th and the 20th minute. We were giving the ball away. Villa were getting a lot of possession. Not a lot of shots, though, you've got to say. They didn't really pressure us into Dubravka making outstanding saves. I think he had one to make in that second half, which he pushed aside very well. But between the 10th and 20th, we were a little bit rusty. And, you know, getting back into old habits of giving the ball away, not great passing, not picking up men. But it didn't cost us. And then, of course, came the sending off. And you know what? Villa can complain all they want. That was a shocking bit of play from Duran. And really, he's let his team down and he's let his manager down. Because whichever way you look at it, the first stamp on top of Fabian Schär's arse, and then his foot just reaches out and clips the back of his head. Nobody can tell me that he didn't have the opportunity to put his foot down to the side of Fabian Schär. It was a terrible, terrible tackle. It was a terrible response from Duran, and rightly so sent off in my opinion. And I think a lot of people will agree with that. Anthony Taylor certainly sought the referee. He gave a red. It went to VAR, and they said, yes, it's a red card. Clearly, all day long, a red. When you look at Fabian Schär's sending off against Southampton, if that one was a sending off, then I'm sorry for Villa fans, that was a sending off as well. And you've got no arguments with that. And then, of course, we take control of the game. Unlucky not to be more than 1-0 up at half-time. We go into the second half, and the second half is a cakewalk for us, in my opinion. You expected Villa to have a push, which they did, but they couldn't get anything on target or any decent shots on Dubravka. I thought we defended very well when Villa came at us. You certainly, when you see Watkins come on at half-time, you know that Emery is annoyed and he wants to make a push. So we expected that from Villa. They're a very good side, some very, very good players. They're always going to have a little bit of possession, even with 10 men. But then we score our second goal, which is an absolute gem. Lovely work again on the right-hand side. What I loved about that goal today was the patience that we had. The patience we had just to control the ball. Nice little triangle on that right-hand side with Murphy, Trippier, Bruno. Then Tonali was coming in, helping out. And then Murphy breaks away, plays the ball across, and it's a brilliant finish from Isak. Those two were very quiet in the first half for me today. And I said it at half-time that I wanted to see a bit more from them. And they were brilliant second half. And then, of course, we should have had a third goal. Listen, I know there's rules in there, right? But when Konsa blasts that ball off the line and it hits Bruno, what is he supposed to do? I mean, is the man, I said this a few weeks ago, is he supposed to get a hacksaw and quickly hacksaw his arm off before Konsa clears it so it's got no chance of hitting his arm? It hits his elbow and goes in the net. And you're thinking, yeah, it's 3-0. How can he deny that? But somehow, obviously, listen, I'm not going to blame VAR or anybody. It's the rules. It did hit his arm. It went in. Rules are rules. But if that was at the other end, then, of course, it would be different. Because it wouldn't be a penalty. Because he's got nowhere to put his arm. So it's a very stupid rule that it's one box to another box is completely different set of rules. But we do go and get a third eventually. Again, terrible from Villa. They did this a few times today, trying to play out from the back. Just awful sometimes. And I think it was Onana give the ball away this time. And Joe Linton, beautiful shot, mate, wasn't it? Curled it into the top corner. Again, no chance for Martinez. And if it wasn't for Martinez today, I think, Newcastle could have had 5 or 6. He's proved why he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world, whether you like him or not as a goalkeeper. But for me, he's definitely up there and performed absolutely brilliant, made some brilliant saves. And like I say, it could have been 5, 6, 7. Murphy hitting the bar. We had some great chances that we didn't put away. And some of the players will be looking back thinking, how the hell have I not got on the score sheet today? But all in all we can do is go out and beat what's in front of us. Villa let themselves down. I believe there was an incident at half-time in the tunnel in which Jason Tindall was shown a red card, and one of the Villa backroom staff was also shown a red card. It all seemed to calm down once we got on with the second half. I thought it might have been a bit more spicy in that second half, given what had happened in the last few minutes of the first half. I think the incident with Joe Linton and Rodgers, absolute disgrace throwing yourself to the floor like that when Joe Linton's hand didn't even hit your face. It came across your chest, and then you go down like your poleaxe, trying to get him sent off. And then pointing to the incident down the other end of the field where your player was sent off for a perfectly legitimate reason. And I'm sure if Rodgers sees that back on replay, he'll realise what an arse he's been. Not just about his theatrics, but about trying to point out that it shouldn't have been a sending off, a clear sending off. And look, I'm not going to be... if it wasn't a sending off, I would say it. You know what I mean? I'm very honest when it comes to opinions on what I've seen on the football field. And if Duran didn't deserve to be sent off, I would say it. But it was a clear sending off. Kieran Trippier came back into the side today for Livramento, who was ill. I thought Trippier looked very, very rusty in the first half. But certainly second grew into the game, played a lot better, and unfortunately picked up a knock and had to go off late on in the second half. Gordon outstanding again, really positive running from him. Like I say, Murphy and Isak took a little longer than normal to get back to the game. But look, we're not going to be, every player on that first 11 is not going to be at the pinnacle of their game for 90 minutes every single time they're on the pitch. You've got to remember that this period of play for us during Christmas time is very busy. But what I like about Eddie Howe is he's not making too many changes. He's just changing what he has to and what he's been forced into. He's letting this team gel. And this team, you can see, they know where everybody is. They're making runs for each other. They're causing all sorts of problems for the opposition. And you have to be in good spirits going into the game at Old Trafford on Monday. You have to be. If you're not confident of winning that game on Monday night, then there's something wrong with you. Man United are all over the place at the minute. Bournemouth just went and destroyed them 3-0. They are not playing well. And we have an opportunity here to go and really do them over. And we could be in the top 3 by the time the transfer window opens, which is going to allow us to pull in better players. Players are going to look at that league table and say, wow, Newcastle 3rd, real opportunity for Champions League. They're still in the Cups. Things are really, really looking good for them all of a sudden. The cloud has lifted that was over us a few weeks ago, when we were down in 13th, 14th in the league and we were going nowhere. But credit to Eddie Howe and credit to the players. They've certainly discussed the problems that we had. And they've mentioned that in interviews. And they've done something about it. And you can only say well done to the lads for doing that. And the manager. Now, I know there's some people, Sam said it tonight on our Matchday Live show. She's still Eddie out until, I guess we can all prove that he can do the job against when the backs are against the wall, make better decisions. And I understand where she's coming from with that. When our backs against the wall, the in-game management, we need to see if that has changed and that Eddie's learned from mistakes of the past. For me, I'm still Eddie in. Of course I am. I love Eddie Howe, and I really do hope that this man can go on and win a trophy for us. I just really like the way we've turned things around when the pressure's been on, and hopefully we go to Old Trafford, or Mouse Trafford if it's now called, on Monday night and play against Man U and whip their asses as well. Because we're certainly in the form to do it. The players are on fire at the minute and nobody can live without press. And when we're like that, we are deadly. So long may that continue. But all in all, brilliant performance again today. Thoroughly satisfied with that. And, how are the lads? We are absolutely motoring. Thank you very much for watching the video, guys. If you have enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button. And, of course, if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please do subscribe. It is free to do so. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload or a live show in the future. And, we're back on Friday night with the match review at 7 o'clock. We'll take a deeper dive into the game itself, and obviously we'll do our player ratings as well. Sunday night, we've got the match preview. Monday night, Matchday Live. Newcastle United travel to Old Trafford. So loads coming up on the channel, guys. I'll bring you the latest news videos if we get any news from the club as well. So lots to subscribe to. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of your Boxing Day. Take care.